Nice to see you again. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, anyways, okay, so I am making this video July 1st, and I would just like to say that the last two videos, or the previous two videos, are my part 1 and part 2 of my Capacites recap video that have gotten turned into part 1 and 2 out of 3 videos. So I decided to go ahead and make a or condense them, so now they're gonna be 3 videos instead of originally there was supposed to be 1, and then there was supposed to be 2, and then now there are 3. So part 1 is going to be a introduction into hello, this is Capacites, this is what I did, and then part 2 is going to be just an interview of Doctora Papawi. So if you're interested in hearing from the director of the program, that's the video to watch. And then part 3 will be interviews of the other providers, the social worker, the psychologist, and the pediatrician. So yeah, that's what's going on with my YouTube videos. And then as of right now, I have this video coming out, which is just essentially an update, and then next time I'm gonna do, or the next video I'm gonna put is actually gonna be a month of June recap. So it's just gonna be a bunch of clips that I've taken from clips and pictures I've taken from June. So the next video I post will be that one, and then after that it'll probably be maybe another update video, and then maybe Capacites, and then maybe something to wrap up my summer, because summer's already pretty much done. We're already in the first week of July. Let's see some other news, some more updates real quick. I'm actually going home to New Mexico on Thursday, so I'll be there for the weekend, and yeah, I think that's essentially what's going on in my coming up. In some other news, to give some debriefing, I said that I was going to talk about the project that I was working on in this position, and so again, my position right now is at ILB, the Interdisciplinary Learning Building here on OU HSC campus in Oklahoma, and I really love it. I really love this position. I really love my job. Like, this is like one of the few jobs that I've had where I wake up and I don't want to but I don't mind waking up at 7 a.m. for this job. So I wake up at 7, and I come in, and I had been working on my project, and I was so excited because it was essentially a big macro, and I was so excited, and I'm trying to think about how to really explain it, because it's this big project. It was a big idea that I had. It was a big unofficial thesis was what I was calling it. I was going to title it as an example for interdisciplinary practices, an example for interdisciplinary education, something like that. Something that was in support of what we're doing here. Because what we do here is multi-interdisciplinary practice, which is where medical professions are working together to optimize patient care. And what I want to do is I want to see a lot more of that in systemic structures and political structures. I want to see a lot more, I guess professional education and ethics and morality in political positions, instead of what exists now, which feels to me like nepotism and generational wealth. And it's really difficult whenever you start to really understand and think about all of the ways that the system was set up against us. Yeah, I mean, the people who have power now, they really didn't ever earn it. It was definitely, skewed towards them, and so it just wasn't fair from the beginning. And I think now we live in a world where we say, well, there are all of these services and things that people could use to get help and get help for themselves. And yes, this is true, but it's kind of still not fair whenever it was never a level playing field. It was never an equal playing field. So I would like to see that change. I would like to see a lot more, I guess, basic needs being met across the board for all people, just on the grounds of morality and ethics, and because they're a human person that's alive and breathing. I think it's funny because I feel like our generation has this running joke in social media where we'll say, I didn't ask to be born. Like, it's not fair that that our parents tell us to do certain things or expect certain things out of us when we didn't even ask for this life. And it's a running joke, and it's a whatever, and some people take it very seriously, some people don't. But when I hear it, I think of the same thing. I mean, in this sense, none of us asked to be born in this world, yet we were expected to find a way to put housing over our own head and shelter. And it just seems like how advanced we are. It seems like that's something that we could very much do for everybody. But greed, if there's greed instead of morality, then why would you think that? If all you're worried about is your own money, then why would you worry about anybody else, and the fact that they don't have enough to buy food? So yeah, it's all about changing the thought processes of who's in the positions of power. And right now those thought processes are very they're very hateful, and so and yeah, motivated by money. So, and hopefully this does change, and that's why I was so upset about this project not getting approved. I was hoping that it would be research for something like that, if not maybe at least some kind of I don't know, project plan, essentially, like what could be done. It's hard. It's a really hard situation to be in as a student entering the professional world. I felt like I've told my mom this a million times, but I feel like they've always told us that we have all of this potential whenever we're kids, that we can do anything in the world, and then whenever you get older, then they start narrowing you down and they say, no, well, you can't do that because you're dumb, you're slow, you're this, you're that. Then they praise other kids and say, well, you can because you're good and you're this and you're that. So those kids go on, and fortunately I was one of those kids that was pushed. But then those kids get into the workforce and they say, well, you can't make that difference because that's stupid, or you can't do that because that's naive, and that there's this, there's that. Just go take a 9-to-5, just go work in the system that exists now. And it's so frustrating for me because I feel like there are so many people begging for a change in the system, and so many people who also equally recognize it and want to see something change, but we just are consistently hearing from people above us that it can't be, and that's just not true. It's so wrong. The only reason that we sometimes believe that things can't change is because we have not been given the information, the education on how to do it, and so that's what my goal is. My mission here now is to inform as many people as I possibly can that if you do not like a social system, you can change it. And nothing that is just became one day. We all worked on this system in the past, and we can work on it now. It's not over. I think our world got in a little rut. It got a little stunted, thinking that this was the best that we could do, and this was life, and this is the 21st century. This is the greatest, the most advanced that we have ever been, and it's true, but it's not the most advanced that we could be. And I think what we're really missing is social equality, social equity, and I think would just skyrocket our technological advances, and would really honestly save us, because I think eventually the climate is going to drastically affect us in a way that we cannot stop. It is only going to be through the efforts and minds of people who are really good with technology and who are really smart and that can work in that area, but we can't get them there unless we allow for people to get education, and we're not allowing for kids to get education. It's ridiculous. So that's basically what my project was about. I talk about this education plan of, I mean it's a lot to it. There's a lot of components to it, but I talk about a revamped education plan along with a revamped plan for the criminal justice process, followed with a plan for reallocating the nation's wealth in a more equitable way. That is made up by interdisciplinary state boards instead of our political systems that we have now, mayors and governors and things like that. And I was explained that this is how the government was supposed to work. But obviously, it's I think it is fair to say, well, this was the vision that we had for it. This is the what we wanted, and that's what it would plan to be. That's okay. It's not that now, and I think that's okay too, to recognize that it's not that. And okay, this was the mission that we had for it. This was the way that we were gonna do it. This is what it is now. And now what we know about science and things like that is to evaluate it. Why did the plan that we had originally end up in this outcome? And then so what we would do now is say, that's the outcome we got, this current political system that we live in. Okay, we cannot change what it is now, but we can make adjustments going forward, and we can evaluate and pivot and make improvements, and so that's where I think we are now, in a time to really improve on the system that we already have, to advance to a more advanced society based on the education that we have, the science that we have now. We know so much more now than we knew even 100 years ago. I mean, looking at these historical events, I used to always think that they were historical events that were so ancient and truly didn't matter, because they really had nothing to do with us, and that's because that's the kind of attitude that we take as Americans, as in the education system. And it's not true. The history that we have and the science that we have, it's important to pay attention to while we're trying to guide ourselves to something greater. And right now we're just fighting a lot, and I'm crying a lot because it's scary. But yeah, so I was really upset about this project not being able to get off the ground, because it was something that I really wanted to work on. But I very much plan on continuing it, and I think everything happens for a reason. So I think at this time it needs to be put in my pocket, and I need to work on something different. So right now I'm working on a Unity Clinic interpretation services project. That's going to be my output for the end of June, and I'm really excited about it. This is another project that I was really happy to. I'm really happy to do. I was just more so excited about this first one, but this is something that I know is really going to make an impact, and can make an impact really quickly. Coming in August, it would be up and running. So I'm going to keep working on that and get that together. I mean, other than what I've been dealing with work, I think in my personal and relationship life, there's also been some really hard times. I want this YouTube channel to be, for me, somewhere where I can have career and personal growth. So even though I try not to share too much information on this, I also want people to have a chance to see somebody else's story and know that they're not alone. I know that my story isn't unique, and so I know what an experience might look like for a second generation Mexican American girl with anxiety and ADHD. I can relate to that kind of girl. I think we can all relate to heartbreak, and we all relate to being 23, coming into this transitional phase. It's so different, but for me, everything that I could have ever needed or ever worked for, this is what I have now, and I'm very grateful. And so I'm going to do my best to share and advocate, and that's what the rest of my time is going to be. Honestly, I don't see myself really doing anything else other than this for the rest of my life, advocating and fighting for what's right. Like I said, heartbreak is tough, but life is so good, and I'm coming to terms realizing as a young woman in my career that it's just the beginning, and all the things that I wanted then, house, kids, husband, weren't necessarily things that I ever really chose. They were just things that I knew that I wanted and just knew that I was going to have, but now I can actually take time with that choice and see if that's something that I really want. But for now, this is what I want. This is what I want to work on, and this is what I want to do and spend the rest of my life doing. And so I'm really excited about it. And it gets lonely and it gets hard, and that's why I do these YouTube videos, so that way I can still connect with myself at least. Other than that, but yeah, I really don't know where I'm going come August, but that's the beauty of it. So I'm excited to see where life takes us. I'm super freaking nervous, but I think it's all gonna be good. Yeah.
Ok, así esta es mi actualización del 1 de julio ayer y del 2 de julio hoy. Ayer no tuve tiempo de grabar esta parte, pero ya estamos aquí. Solo quiero que sepan que el otro día publiqué mi video de Capacits, pues del video de resumen de Capacits de mi tiempo allá. Originalmente había planeado que fuera solo una video, pero la cantidad de contenido aumentó tanto que tuve que dividirlo en 3 partes. Si les interesa, en la primera parte, esa es pues sobre de mi rol y de mi tiempo en Capacits, y en la segunda parte eso es una entrevista con la doctora Papawi, con traducciones en inglés, y pues después voy a publicar la tercera parte con los demás médicos de Capa, una con la psicóloga, una con nuestras pediatría y una con la traductora social. Y después de este video haré un resumen del mes de junio. Después de este video haré un resumen del mes de julio, y luego quizás otras actualización y la tercera parte del Capacit video. Entonces probablemente llegué en este momento de la recapitulación del verano. Sí. ¿Qué más? Pues me voy a un viaje a casa en lo 20 en el jueves, y pues mañana, así que estoy emocionada por eso. Y bueno, para más información sobre lo que está pensando en este puesto de prácticas con mi proyecto de verano, que repito, es en el, ¿cómo se llaman? ILB, es el edificio de aprendizaje de interdisciplinario, Y solo quiero decir que me encanta mi puesto y mi trabajo aquí, y esto es uno de los pocos trabajos que he tenido en los que puedo decir que estoy feliz de levantarme en la mañana para ir a trabajar. Y normalmente no me gusta madrugar, pero no me importa levantarme a las 7 de la mañana para este trabajo. Así que me levanto y llegué y normalmente empiezo a trabajar en mi proyecto. Y este proyecto era algo que tenía que propuesta a mi supervisora, supervisora, y que lo aprobara o no, si se alineaba con la misión de nosotros, del organización. Pero iba a titularlo a algo como ejemplo de prácticas interdisciplinarias o ejemplo de educación en propiedad intelectual, algo así. Cualquier cosa que generar investigación que apoyara lo que se está haciendo aquí, porque lo que estamos aquí a ILB es unir a profesionales médicos para optimizar la atención al pacientes aquí. Y eso es básicamente lo que quiero ver a nivel gubernamental, porque quiero ver más educación profesional y ética y moralidad en los puestos políticos, en lugar de nepotismo y requisa generacional que están actualmente. Es realmente difícil para mí pensar en todas las formas en que el sistema de puso en nuestra contra. El sistema estaba definitivamente sesgado en nuestra contra, y simplemente no fue justo desde el principio. Pero todo esto significa que creo que ahora vivimos en un mundo donde decimos que existen servicios para obtener ayuda, y eso sí es cierto, y sigue siendo, pero sigue siendo injusto que ciertos grupos dependen de ellos. Así que me gustaría ver que se cubran más necesidades básicas para todos, con justicia y ética. Sé que a veces decimos a bromas que, bueno, yo no pedí nacer en este mundo, y cuando nosotros padres nos piden o esperan algo de nosotros, y pienso en esto y cómo hacemos lo mismo esperando que las personas sean responsables de proveer su propio vivienda y comida, cuando definitivamente es algo que por nuestra avanzada edad podemos hacer por todos. Pero con la codicia y el egoísmo, son lo que impide que la gente considere eso. Así que se trata de cambiar el pensamiento de quienes ostentan en el poder político ahora mismo. Y pues sí, este motivo es puro por el dinero, y Pero espero que esto cambie algún día y por eso me molestó tanto que no aprobaran mi proyecto y porque esperaba que pudiera hacer una investigación para este campo o algo así, pero es una situación difícil ser un estudiante en transición al mundo profesional y escuchar que podemos marcar la diferencia, pero al mismo tiempo no hay que ser demasiado ingenuo ni soñar demasiado en grande y es frustrante porque creo que hay personas que quieren ver unos cambios en el sistema como yo, pero no recibimos la educación ni la información sobre cómo hacerlo y pues así que ese es mi objetivo y mi misión en mi carrera. Um, Asegurarse de que la gente sepa que somos capaces de cambiar los sistemas sociales cuando ya no nos sirven. Creo que estamos llegando a un punto en el que nosotros avances que ven obstaculizados por los problemas que tenemos a nivel social. Creo que esto es importante porque si no empezamos a trabajar juntos para encontrar la manera de navegar el futuro del cambio climático, probablemente nos aniquilar. Pero en esencia eso era mi proyecto. También hablé de un plan renovando, perdón, renovado para el círculo educativo y el proceso de justicia penal y una distribución más equitativa de la riqueza nacional. Por lo que entiendo que esta era la misión y de nuestro sistema de gobierno, pero creo que debemos reconocer que ya no es así. Basándonos en lo que sabemos ahora sobre los mitos científicos, debemos evaluar los sistemas y realizar ajustes y mejores para que donde creo que estamos ahora sea ahora que de mejorar nuestra sociedad basándonos en la educación y en lo que sabemos ahora, como estadounidenses centramos muchos en la educación mundial y deberíamos estarlo porque es importante para guiarnos en la situación actual, pero por eso me molestó el proyecto pero por ahora es lo que hay. Voy a dejarlo de lado que seguir dándole vueltas cuando puedan. Ahora estoy trabajando en un otro proyecto de servicio de traducción para la clínica de Unity. Así que estoy muy emocionado de eso. Sé que es algo que necesitamos también Además, también he estado lidiando con muchas dificultades en mi vida sentimental. Um, Quiero que este canal sea un lugar donde pueda crecer tanto profesional como personalmente y compartir mi experiencia con otras personas. Quiero mostrar un ejemplo de cómo es mi experiencia como un mexicana americana, como una latina que lucha con la ansiedad o con TDAH, ¿no? y lidia con estas fases de transición. Pero sí, estoy muy agresiada y solo quiero hacer lo mejor que pueda para compartir y defender de todos. Esta es mi carrera y mi vocación. Estoy aceptando las cosas que quiero para mi para mi enfocondarse, perdón, en lo que quiero hacer, así que sí, estoy emocionada. A veces se pone difícil, pero esta vida es hermosa y no sé a dónde ir en agosto, pero una vez que le descubra, les haré saber. Pero sí es todo. Perdón por esto, es mi perrito, pero gracias por todo y chao, es todo. Chao.